succumb to the persistent attacks of a 424 flu virus, going down 3-0 at home.
Speak up.
What do you say?
Pardon?
Come in, Bob. Hello? Hello?
I was just saying, OK? I was sorry I was ill and couldn't be there with you. So, wearing the number 12 shirt for Whistle Test was Mike Appleton, as he meets up with Robert Plant and Led Zeppelin's manager Peter Grant, somewhere on the River Thames.
Well, at last it's happening. The Led Zeppelin film is going to appear before our very eyes. The rumours seem to have been flying around for years. How long, in fact, is it since you started making it?
I think the evening in question was in July 1973. So
that's what? 3 years ago?
Yeah, just gone.
That's quite a long time. What was the hold-up? What caused the delay in between? I know it's a complex film, there's a lot in it, but it's quite a long time, 3 years.
There wasn't any hold-up in the concert part of it. And there hasn't been any hold-up. I mean, the time between 73, or the end of July 73, when it was filmed at Madison Square Garden, the concert part, the rest has been taken up by doing all the fantasy and offstage parts. That's where it is.
In effect, it was finished just this side of last Christmas. But to get up to that point, if you really want to look at the thing in it's the best light, then like an album, as the time it took with Physical Graffiti, you can't really spend, countless hours going through reel upon reel of tape, our film rather. So we just approached it when we were, just kept the freshness there.
It was the same attitude as I would take with an album, to get it as near perfect as possible. That's why.
I mean, although it was done 3 years ago and obviously didn't have anything from Physical Graffiti and or from Presence, I didn't feel that I was looking at an old concert. I mean, it looked like a contemporary concert to me. Do you tend to use much of Physical Graffiti and Presence now? Or
we haven't had an opportunity.
Will you with Presence, and did you with Physical Graffiti?
Yes, we haven't had an opportunity with Presence yet. There are a couple of things that I think that we'll work on, but with Graffiti, if you came to Earl's Court, or if any of the 90-odd thousand folk who did, would know that we included a fair portion of Physical Graffiti, But I think the vibe has changed just slightly, but the excitement is still maintained.
I've been trying to think of a word to describe the film for somebody who hasn't seen it. Rock fantasy isn't really an adequate word. I don't like it very much, and I'm sure you don't. No. How would you actually describe the film to somebody who knows nothing about it but knows about it?
It isn't rock fantasy. I think the main thing was to get over the fact that it just wasn't a film of a concert. I mean, there's been lots of well, not lots, but there's been quite a few films that have just been concerts on stage, and we wanted to get beyond that.
Yeah, if we're going to be self-indulgent, we might as well try and expand our indulgence a little bit,
I mean, the self-indulgence being the fantasy sections. Were you each individually in charge of your own sequence of fantasy? You were totally in charge?
It had to be total control, because really you worked out, or you planned out how you would like, in my own case, how I really saw what I was doing on another level altogether, the journey, the fact that there are pitfalls and there are trials, tribulations and elations, and the end should never ever be in sight.
So they were entirely their own individual ideas. For instance, with Robert, like when Robert did his stuff in Wales, the other members of the group were not there, and
refused to pay for it at all.
And well, we have plans for that later, actually. Wait to see his next royalty statement. Oh, I forgot, it doesn't get me. Sorry.
How did you work with the director? Presumably you had a lot of ideas. Obviously you did in your fantasy sequences. Presumably you did for the stuff on stage. How did you actually work with him? How much were you in charge and how much was he in charge? Or was it a cooperative?
They were totally in charge. The artistic thing of how Robert wanted, or Jimmy, or Paul Jones, or John Bonham wanted to see. They had a picture in their mind of what they wanted to see. That was a matter of having the director shoot what was in their mind, Him being a craftsman, technician, mechanic, whatever you'd like to say.
And then it was up to... Well, so long as he did that, then it was up to us afterwards to sort of get together and correlate with him and say, right, now this should be illuminated. Now this is where you've got to really put, you know, this is where you've got to do your stuff, you know, because we know exactly what part, and having lived with it forever and conceived it, we know exactly what parts need highlighting and he was in a way working somewhat in the dark, although he could see that there was a picture and there was substance there, you know. I mean, we knew what parts had to be highlighted, and so we had to work constantly.
Did you script it for him, or did you do it by word of mouth? I mean, did you sort of discuss it and say, well, we'll do this?
No, it all started in the Sheraton Hotel in Boston. And everybody's sitting around talking about a film which we talked about for some time. The group had talked about it. And somebody said, why don't we make a film, G? So I said, yeah, that's not an idea. Picked the phone up, called London and...
rented the Sharks?
Yes, and over they came. It was just like that, you know, it was straight in at the deep end, really. But it worked.
I think it worked very well. I like the film very much. The one section that I had a slight reservation about was the theft from the hotel sequence, which somehow seemed to lift it out of a rock concert and a fantasy combination into a sort of documentary. But I suppose in a way, maybe the rock concert was a documentary and that it happened all on the one day.
Well, the robbery scene could have been a lot heavier, but it could have been a lot heavier, yeah. Could have been another $1 in the safe.
Right, yeah. Could have been a lot less robbed.
No, the thing is that the robbery did happen at the time of the concert. It was a part of that time, that capture, whatever you like to call it, and that's why we just folded it in gently. It's not very blatant. I mean, did you find it blatant?
Well, you see, I did actually find it rather blatant, but not only did I find it